Hello and welcome back to the Complete Corner podcast. I'm Ryan, your host, here today with the lovely Latisha.
How you going?
If you've seen Latisha around, she is our day options coordinator here at KompleteCare. She runs all of the sessions and does all things to do with day options. So Latisha, how are you today?
I'm well, how are you?
Yeah, doing good, thank you. So day options.
Yes.
What is it? How does it work? Tell it to me, explain it to me.
Okay. Day Options is a community group
Okay.
for NDIS and home care package clients.
Yep.
We go out on excursions and participate in community activities,
Okay.
skill building, cooking, crafts, relationship building, communication skills.
Awesome.
And we just have loads of fun, really.
Okay. Is it, so you mentioned all of these amazing things, so they all happen in one, or are they different classes? How does that all work?
Well, no, we have a 4-day week,
Okay.
and each week I try and spread out the different activities and make sure that there's an excursion, a cooking day, a craft day, and then whatever falls on the other day. Yeah.
Is that then based on sort of the class numbers for each sort of class, and you're doing different activities to tailor to them, or is it you book a class and then the numbers are just dependent on the activity?
So the numbers are dependent on the activity, but I base the activity off of the feedback of the clients.
Okay.
So a lot of the activities that are there are actually client requests. When we first started cooking, we were doing like a lot of sweets and desserts.
Yep.
And they've asked for more hearty meals, so
Okay.
we change it to whatever they're wanting.
So hearty meals, so you're talking things like things that they can take home and have for like a dinners and that type of thing?
Yeah. So they have a little bit of their meal here, and then they take home containers, and they've got dinner for the night.
That's awesome. How does that work then in terms of like a cost? Like, is there an upfront cost for the people that are participating?
So with cooking and craft, there's no out-of-pocket cost.
Awesome.
And for some activities, there's no out-of-pocket cost. The only out-of-pocket cost would be for some excursions and entry fees into places, which would be no different if they were out with a home support worker.
Yep.
But all the costs are covered within the cost of the program from the NDIS package. So.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. And so that's the same thing with home care clients as well? Or?
Oh, correct. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, awesome. How do you find, what's the split like? Is it like a 50-50 split between the NDIS and participants and aged care?
Well, it depends on the activity.
Okay.
Yes. So NDIS clients, I think, love the engagement and the communication and being stimulated and challenged.
Yep. Type of skills building.
And learning new skills.
Yep.
So they really like the craft and the cooking days.
Yeah, of course.
Saying that aged care participants often just love the social aspect of it, and they'll join in, but their main goal is the social aspect of things.
So just sort of getting out of the house and I guess meeting new people, meeting friends, being social.
Absolutely,
and yeah. Do you have a favourite activity?
Well, I'm good at craft.
Okay.
But I do love the excursions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you had like a one that's sort of stuck out to you? Because Day Options has now been going for, it'd be about a year, right, that we've had classes?
Yeah, the end of this, actually, what's the date today? Yeah, I think it's a year now. So recently I got to cuddle a koala.
Okay.
And that was pretty awesome.
Wow. Okay.
But I do enjoy our beach outings, so that's been a request.
Yep.
Whether we're going to Glenelg for some ice cream and on the Ferris wheel, or we went for a walk down Semaphore and had some hot chip lunch, and then we've seen a seal in the water.
No way.
So just nice outings like that would definitely be my favourites.
And I guess too, it's just a nice way to break up your sort of, not that you're sort of based in the office a heap because you're sort of out doing all these amazing activities, but it's a nice way to break up your sort of work week a little bit, right? Where you're going out and you're doing these fun things as part of your job.
I'm very lucky. I'm very, very blessed, yes.
So speaking of that, so it's been, like we said, about 12 months. How did you get into being the options coordinator at KompleteCare?
Oh, okay. I actually started at KompleteCare about 3 months prior. Before that, I was just managing and training teams in retail.
Okay.
I came to KompleteCare just on a casual basis. on my days off.
Okay.
And was a home support worker.
Just looking for like extra income? Was that sort of what?
Well, no, I'd been sitting on some qualifications for quite a few years while my children grew up. And I know that this job can, get a bit difficult at times. So yeah, I waited until my children grew up, and then I decided to, dip my toe in the water and make sure I liked it. And I loved it.
Yep.
From there, this position arose, and I wasn't 100% sure what it was in the beginning.
Yep.
But after it was explained, I knew that was for me.
Yeah. So 12 months in, so then you got hired. What was then the process like of setting up this? Because you were sort of, one of the pioneers of sort of organising and setting up everything to start. So what was that sort of process like?
It was tricky because there was not something already in place that I had to follow.
Yeah.
I had to make it up as I went along.
Yep.
And obviously coming into the field, there was new areas that I had to learn.
Okay, so setting up the sessions.
Yes.
You started with a whole bunch of different types of activities, and then I guess you're sort of trialing them, seeing what clients are sort of agreeing with, and then, or sort of liking, and then sort of tailoring from there.
Yes. So I guess we started off with the basic skills, so cooking, craft, and we moved from there. And then I started with things that I knew how to do.
Yep.
And I trialed it with the clients, and then I received their feedback, and each term we just do that and edit from there. And there's one request I haven't been able to fill yet, and it was they want to go camel riding.
Camel riding?
Camel riding, yes.
Okay.
You can do it at Victor Harbour.
Okay.
But I have called every camel place under the sun to try and organise camel riding, and I cannot yet facilitate that. So that's a goal for 2025.
Something to happen. Okay. Yeah, I've never heard of camel. I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? Like you see it in films, or I particularly see it.
You haven't ridden a camel?
No. Never.
Oh.
Have you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have. They're very stinky.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just imagine it wouldn't be super comfortable, right? Like you're not.
Yeah, because they put a saddle on it.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a saddle.
Okay, so like just riding a horse then.
Well, yes, they're a little bit slower than a horse.
And more
but they can run very, very fast. Okay. And yeah, you can either climb up and hop onto the camel from some stairs, or the camels are down on the ground and you hop on, and when they get up with their back legs first.
Okay.
And then their front legs, so.
That's a little strange, yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. So talk me through your process of actually planning and booking all of these sessions. So you said you're trying to, let's say, doing this camel experience. Mm-hmm. You're calling places. You're sort of doing research. So talk me through that sort of process about how I guess you make the calendar for the year or for the term.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I normally focus on an activity at a time. So if I'm doing excursions, for example, I will go through and do the excursions for the whole term. I think that works better for me. Mm-hmm. So then I can just brainstorm all of my excursion ideas. Then I have to think about the season and the weather and what needs to go where. Obviously, if we're going, I'm going to do some indoor stuff if it's the middle of winter because we're going to be freezing. Indoor excursions.
Or wet with the rain.
Yeah, so we don't get rained on.
Yeah.
And then again, when it's really, really hot, we want some excursions that are indoors or a shaded area or a little bit shorter in the sun.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I start calling around, making sure that there's the right amount of access for clients because we've got walkers and stuff, age, and then I'll try and get a deal for the client so it's not so much out of pocket.
Lock it in. I remember we were filming for another video, so the day in the life video. So if anyone has seen that, when we were filming for that, one of the clips that I ended up using was you talking on the phone booking a session.
Yes.
And we were staging those to start with, but then you actually got a call from one of the providers or one of the places that you were trying to book in.
Yes.
And that was the footage they ended up using because it was the most real real experience, obviously without the audio. And then when we were shooting the parts of that, I remember you also getting calls from clients and sort of they were confirming locations and stuff or
Yeah.
pickup time. So talk to me a little bit about then, so everything's locked in, you've got the calendar.
Mm-hmm.
How does a session actually run? So what does that look like for you for the day?
Oh, okay. Normally we meet at our hub here at Clearview.
Mm-hmm.
There are some exceptions to that, but generally we'll meet here.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to the activity, I make sure that we've got the right amount of workers to clients.
There's some 1-to-1, 1-to-4?
Yeah, 1-to-1 and 1-to-4.
Yep.
So you have the option as a 1-to-1 client to bring your worker along, meet us here, and we'll convoy out together.
Mm-hmm.
Some clients don't mind meeting at the location.
Okay, yeah.
So I have my own little live activity log of who's attending.
Yeah.
And we carpool here.
Yeah.
Then we travel out to the location. I obviously work out times and stuff for that.
Prior, yeah.
Yep. And then, we do our activity, make sure I've allocated a certain amount of time to get home, and we head home.
Yeah, fantastic. And then that's rinse, repeat, and go again the next day?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, awesome. How long does a term or because it goes in terms, right? There's 4 different terms for the year.
There is.
So how long does a term go for?
Depending on the term, it's 9 to 10 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that similar aligned to something like the school?
Yeah, it's not exactly aligned, but it's very similar.
Close.
Yeah. We usually have about a 2 to 3 week break in between, just for organisation of the following term.
Yep. I guess a bit of downtime for yourself as well. I can imagine it's quite stressful. Is not the right word, but you're always quite on your feet, and there's always something happening, and there's always a different session each day. You probably need a bit of time to sort of, I guess, recoup and get ready for the next.
Yeah, and just make sure I've got everything under control, and everything's booked in correctly, and
Yeah. So term 3 has wrapped up a couple of
Has.
weeks back. What has been your favourite moment or like a highlight? So you can't mention the koala again.
Okay.
Is there any moments that sort of have stuck out that was an awesome moment for that term?
There's so many moments that really bring me joy, and a lot of it is the client feedback.
Yep.
When they really like something or don't like something,
Yeah.
they absolutely let me know. But yeah, so I've had some clients tell me that they're so happy that they've come, and they feel so much better about themselves.
Oh.
There's clients that do quite a lot of activities, and then I take them to something that they've never done before. So
They sort of get that new experience.
yeah, and I love the feedback. I love the feedback.
Absolutely. I'm having been to a few sessions and sort of participated in and around some of the activities. It definitely looks like a very close group. They look like it's a lot of people that are genuinely really enjoying what they're doing and the activities. So I think that's such an awesome part of it. We obviously have at KompleteCare we have all the other supports to be able to help people in the home or out in the community, but then having something that they can come to on a regular basis, like day options, where they can sort of work on their skills and work on learning new things and trying new things, and then also just the social aspect. I think you mentioned some of the clients just like having that ability to get out the house and just be social.
Yeah, absolutely. And the dynamics of the group is so broad. So we've got I think our youngest client at the moment, or the youngest client we've had, was 20, all the way up to 94 years old.
Yeah, wow.
And you wouldn't think that we would find similarities or likeness between the group, but they do.
Yeah.
And they're so close knit. It takes just one session, and the group's already made some friends.
Yeah, I remember, and I might have to cut this out for privacy reasons, but I remember when I was here last time, and there were a couple of the few different clients were talking about going to the Royal Show together, and I thought that was just such an amazing thing. They've got this. They're coming to day options. Every time that I've been here, they've always been here, and I'm sure that they're quite regular, but they booking activities outside together because they've just developed that friendship, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah. And so the clients have access to be able to contact me if they need. And I often get photos or a message from clients saying, "Hey, I seen such and such today at Rundle Mall," or they've met up for dinner, and that just brings me so much joy.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fantastic program. Like I said, having been sort of an outside participant in it when you've let me in and let me come in and do some of this video work and stuff and annoy you for a day. It's such an awesome thing to watch and to be a part of. So I've got a bit of a sneaky question for you because this podcast will come out in between our 2 terms of day options. So do you have any sneak peeks you can give us for the upcoming term?
Oh, okay. Yes, we've got lots of cooking classes and diabetic friendly.
Okay.
Okay. We have excursions. We're going to be going to Whispering Wall.
Oh, that'd be
Okay.
great. Have you been there before?
I have, yes. And it's very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. There's a little trick to that place. We've got some recurring activities like the Ferris wheel at Glenelg,
Awesome.
because it was so popular. We also have like 10-pin bowling, cinemas,
Awesome.
and crafts for upcoming Christmas.
Oh, like Christmas cards and all that. I guess stay tuned to find out more, right?
Absolutely,
Not gonna spoil
absolutely.
those.
Or give us a call to find out more.
Yeah. I guess on that, so when does this next term start? And if I'm listening to this or I guess watching this, what's the best way to
reach out.
Yeah, to get involved.
Okay, so we start up term 4 on the 8th of October.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I believe that's a 10-week term.
Okay.
And if you want to participate in the activities, then you can call up your client service manager or give KompleteCare a call.
Yep. So that was on 0882655696.
That's the one.
Perfect. And we also have, I know it's a bit of a shameless plug, but we do a lot of work on the back end about having the day options calendar on our website. So you can actually also go to completecare.com.au.
Yeah.
Complete with a K. And you can click on day options and you can go to class calendar. You can see all of the things that you've got for the next term. I'm not quite sure if the next term is live on there yet, but it will be. Mm-hmm. So you said 10 weeks. So does that go sort of close enough to Christmas that there's a break and then start again early next year?
Absolutely. So the break over Christmas is longer than our mid-year breaks. I think we finish off, don't quote me on this, but mid-December.
Yeah.
And then we let everyone have a break over Christmas and stuff. We do have a Facebook page,
Okay.
which is called KC Community Group.
Yeah.
And that is for any home support workers, clients or participants that want to join or are currently in. And that way they can communicate over the holidays and over the breaks and still have that means of community.
And sort of that, they're not losing that connection just because the class isn't on. Yeah.
Correct.
I think we mentioned this before. So it's Tuesday to Friday.
Yes.
And then the times vary depending on the activity, or is there sort of standard times for each?
There is a general standard time, which is 12:30 to 3:30.
Yep.
But depending on the activity, there is some variation in there.
Okay.
And obviously in summer, we probably don't want to be doing the late afternoons.
With the
So
heat.
some of the activities are slightly earlier.
Yeah, of course. Do you have any activities that you haven't yet been able to implement that you'd love to?
Yes. There is, I believe it's called the Planetarium.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is really cool. I'm still navigating how we do the group bookings on that one.
Of course.
But that's something that I definitely want to book into for term 1 in 2025,
Yep.
which is not that far away.
No.
So that's one. And maybe like a little Victor Harbour trip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would that be a longer session with the travel and that sort of thing?
Absolutely. So just another little sneak peek on this upcoming term. We are doing a Monarto Zoo trip,
okay.
which is going to be very exciting. And that is going to run for 5 hours rather than the 3,
Of course.
due to travel and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Is that a guided tour through there?
Yeah. So we head from here down to Monarto Zoo. And then we hop on one of their guided tours. We've got 2 stop-offs there to see, I believe it's white rhinos.
Okay.
And maybe gorillas or chimpanzees or
Okay.
something.
Another awesome, exciting
Yeah.
animal that you don't get to see every day.
And then, we jump back on the bus and finish our tour and have some lunch and head back.
And then that's a wrap, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah. Like I said, I know that from any of the sessions that I've gone to and we see a lot of the feedback and the photos or the testimonials from the clients, they all absolutely love all the different activities that you put on, and they wouldn't keep coming back if it wasn't something that they enjoyed. And I think that's a massive testament to the work that you put in.
Oh, thanks.
Having people that are just genuinely happy to be here and having that repeat sort of attendance is just amazing. So
yeah, and look, to come to a group like this for the very first time, if you've never been, it can probably be quite daunting, and you could get quite anxious or nervous. So yeah, if you're watching the videos and you can bring yourself to maybe come along with a regular worker that you have. You don't have to be a KompleteCare client in the beginning to come over. You can come with a regular worker that you have. Once you come one time, you generally come back.
Yeah. That's something that we haven't actually touched on. So so it's not just for KompleteCare only clients, is it? You can be an external and... If you've got an NDIS package or a home care package, absolutely, come along. And that would be the same thing. Rather than calling a client service manager, you'd just be calling the office number.
100%.
Which again, 088-8265-5696. And you'd speak to Latisha and get put through, and welcome to the session.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, might wrap it up there. So thank you very, very much for sitting with us for this episode of The Complete Corner. It wasn't too bad, was it?
A little daunting.
You did great. This is, just a quick reminder. So this podcast will be available on all of your normal streaming platforms or wherever you listen to podcasts. And you can follow us, all of our socials is @KompleteCare Home Care. And thank you again very much for joining us. And we look forward to seeing you guys all at the next term of Day Options.
Thank you.
Cool, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Complete Corner podcast, brought to you by KompleteCare, your #1 stop for all things community and home care services.